Talked about her pre-game abs, all the trials and tribulations she had just to even make it to AFLW. She's a real old-school warrior.
She certainly is very Joel Selwood-like in this AFLW competition. Generally has some kind of blood per game. So.
And she comes for the opening goal of the season. Katie Loynes gets a bit of return on Carlton's investment up forward, and the Blues lead by 11 points. Vesio played every game in AFLW for the Blues. This is her 24th tonight. Only 2 players in the competition have kicked more goals. Erin Phillips and Jess Wushner. Vesio with a chance to kick the Blues second. 30 out, makes good contact and steers it through. Early blow landed for the Blues, margin out to 18 points. And Abs, this is why Nicola Stevens is playing in the front half. Smart footballer.
She's very smart. She just lowered her eyes, recognised that Darcy Vesio was on her own, took a great mark and an excellent finish by Vesio.
Stevens taps forward, Vesio just couldn't get it to bounce up to her. Stevens has been a good component in the forward line, just couldn't get hand to foot, might cop contact from Miller. Goes back in for another dose. Little toe poke from Dalton. G's clean. Press-Parker's normally a finisher. Delegates it off. And strolling in goes Walker.
Let's go, girls. Set up.
The Blues had a famed mosquito fleet in the late 70s and early 80s. They've got a new version in their forward half this season.
Penetrate that zone that they're putting through the centre of the ground, and Maddie Press-Parker, she'll go long here to the top of the square.
She'll set it up. McAvoy lurks at the back. Harris at the front.
How good is Maddie Press-Parker's going to be, guys? She's only played 1 season, full AFLW, and already gone off to the best foot possible.
And when you put some guns around her to share that load in the middle, as Harris comes in from the top of the square, and the Blues have got 4.
The footy, we heard, first of all, no Richmond player had nominated to go on the ruck, so Harris was uncontested. Vesio took possession, but Press-Parker's held off the footy right in her hitting zone here.
How about those names? Harris, Vesio, Press-Parker, McAvoy. This Carlton side is in very good stead for the years to come.
And Maddie Press-Parker's 7-3 in her debut season. There wasn't much she didn't do. All Australian, joint best and fairest, NAB rising star. You can drop the rising. She's just a star.
She said at quarter time, her role is yes to find the footy herself, but it's also to bring her teammates into the game, and that's exactly what she's done.
She's that new breed of footballer we keep talking about, Abs. The player that's come through the system. She started when she was 5 years old and hasn't stopped since. And she's just
through her. Doonan, clever, quick Irish woman, sends it deep. Downey getting the one hand to it. Outstanding play. Benefit of experience and knowing your capabilities.
Allison, 2 metres. Yeah, that's your line there.
And she, in a competition of dual sport stars, must be held in the highest regard. What a player she was for Dandenong in the WNBL. She's been a great player for Carlton through their first 3 and a bit years of AFLW, and steers it home. The Blues are going to get on the board in round 1.
Yeah, Chloe Malloy, having spent a lot of time out of the game, you like her attacking the footy and taking it on like that.
Egan from 45 attacks the goal square to Harris.
Well, it didn't take too long for Taylor Harris to pull the first one down.
There's the free kick. Press-Parker couldn't hold her, but the old wise head of Katie Loynes nailed her in the tackle. And now Harris to respond for the Blues, and she does. It's a goal apiece.
But she wins plenty of the footy herself. It's often the perfect matchup for a player like Press-Parker.
Allen with the Falcon off the face. It comes to Brazzali. She has a flying shot at goal and makes her pay. sometimes it's better not to have any time, Days. Her last goal, Lauren Brazzali, was round 2 of 2017. Since then, she's kicked 8 straight points. Didn't have time to think that time, just slotted it.
She's a booming kick on the run, so maybe you're right. No time to think, no set shot, but...
Go. She takes off, runs to the front edge of the square. Handball over the top to Walker. Runs to 40 metres out. Sets sail for goal and gets one for the Blues.
Wonderful finish.
It's been a day of almosts for the Blues. Just haven't been able to kick them when they've needed them.
Send the Blues forward again.
Living in their half so far, the Blues. Moody's kick scrubby, gets over a set of hands. Harris, clever, works it forward, just needs to sit here for G. On the third bite, she'll get it, stroll in. Blues with the opener. Chelsea Randall, 4th inside 50. Finally, the Blues was something to show for it.
Yeah, they worked hard just in that first couple of minutes there, and Taylor just a lovely little smart little tap forward there just to get that footy forward, and Georgia G with that goal there.
Conduit roll, gives it off, hustling play here from the Blues. They work it forward. Brazzali from 50, setting sail to a vacant goal square. She's got it. The theme of the weekend, Chelsea round. It might be long bomb round in AFLW. We saw 2 at Moorabbin last night. Lauren Brazzali dialing long distance from 50 with the breeze.
Sent it through. It was wonderful. And what I loved was Karen Harrington, just from the back, she started that play. Really silky smooth skills from the back line and kept it moving.
And half will be happy. 2 goals from 6 inside 50s. Better conversion than last week already. Prosparkis, her 5th touch of the game. Nice disposal winner on the ground. Goes the co-captain Lloyd. She's got numbers out here. McAvoy just slotted into the spot.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs just struggling to try and number off when they're coming into the defence. We do have a player down in the middle of the ground at the moment, so maybe Georgie can have a little look at that for us as well.
So McAvoy in just her 3rd game directly in front. Has it got enough carry? It does.
Hope that it's nothing too serious there. And Lucy McAvoy just putting that one straight through the sticks. And love the work rate from Prosparkis in traffic there.
Centre of the ground and playing under pressure from Lamb. Will still get a boot to it. Stevens used her hands well in the body work. Ferris, a hand pass to no one. Well, in the end, she's hand passed it to G, and G slotted the goal. That's her 2nd for the day.
And as we see this again, really smart, just intercepts that ball. Had another defender in front of her and decided, I'm going to do the ground ball and get this ball past her. And it was a very smart call.
The form of pound, she goes by hand to McAvoy, has to kick off a couple of steps. Downey with a 2-footer jump, clears a path. Harris swung, was it high? It was. And Taylor Harris gets her opportunity to involve herself in the game. Just copped a high one on the way through.
Stood strong though as the Dogs were coming at her. 1, 2 and 3 and still held strong.
2-2 for the season. 1924 in her AFLW career. Finishes it off. Carlton putting a space on the Dogs.
You can just see the high tackle here. That's just come from Izzy Huntington. And Taylor went back, had the shot on goal and that magnificent kicking action. Didn't even look like she had to try too hard, yet the ball still went over and above, straight through those goals. A brilliant effort by her. With only 5 disposals, and this week she's really injected herself into the contest.
The Blues, a rare chance inside 50. The bounce of the ball from Stevens. Vesio just has to track it. And one against the play, an important one for the Blues.
And as we watch this on the replay from Nicholas Stevens, just sending that through, and Darcy Vesio making them pay. Exceptionally happy with that one.
Professional free. Dora Jar here for G. Has a bounce, steadies, chips, Stevens.
Loynes just putting her body on the line as we keep talking about once again. creating that advantage for her team.
Georgia G, just the composure and awareness of what's in front of her, and then the execution of the skill as well. We lauded her earlier on for that kick to Vesio. Here she might set up Stevens. Just one AFLW goal so far. What a time to kick your second. Chelsea Randall, what a tough kick from there. Nick Stevens' first goal since round 2, 2018 against the Giants. They've moved her forward to play a really structural role inside 50 where she can be part of the ball movement, just that one kick ahead. This time she's on the end of it, and she is such a clean finisher. That's a terribly difficult kick, particularly with the breeze.
It certainly is, Nige, and I think being that left footer out in that pocket, very difficult indeed, and she executed it wonderfully.
So Carlton have been able to answer again for the second time in this term. Margin back out to 15 points. And it's the Blues who might win the clearance here again. Playing to Dalton. They go inside 50. Harris in front. With the ball at the deck and then wins it at ground level. Hand pass off to Prasparkas. Pokes it over the top. There's a couple to choose from. And G has her third for the afternoon.
Well, Maddie Prasparkas, a well-weighted kick. Knew she had numbers over the flight of the footy there. And a lovely little block. Gained some extra time and finished off strongly.
G, Dalton, back to G. Plenty of numbers in support here, Carlton. If Grace Egan takes advantage, she will. She gets to 40, pops it over the top. An uncontested mark taken by Nicola Stevens. Nice build-up by the Blues. And now another one of Carlton's leaders needs to settle and kick the goal here, Alex.
One of the best kicks in the game, Nick Stevens. She's a left footer here, so she's going to be in prime position to have a great set shot at goal.
Generally been a wing or a half back, but this year has been deployed as a half forward to use those skills, and she makes no mistake. Nice reply by the Blues. They needed that, and they've pegged one back. Goal of the afternoon, and they get within 11 points. And a much-needed confidence booster, Alex, because, as we've said, they've had a fair bit of play and a fair bit of ball in this first half, but just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard.
I think it came from Grace Egan there. She really steadied the ship and made sure she was really, really precise with her footwork to hit up Nicola Stevens there instead of blazing away and trying to kick the goal herself. Backing herself. It's just that last touch, she shouldn't hesitate. She's got elite decision-making skills and just needs to keep backing them in.
Disposal number 9 for her. 7 contested. It's a good kick. Had a few Blues at the top of the square, and out the corner of her eye spotted Maddie Prasparkas.
It's great teamwork there, Lee. Maddie's obviously, her voice is booming out the back, and Downey and Walker have just left that to make her come in and ensure it's in great hands to hopefully slot this through.
The young superstar has had a huge second term. Already had the 13 disposals, and late in this half, a big kick for Carlton. Can she capitalise? Of course she can. And she taps the chest, and the Blues have kicked 2 in a row, and they bridge the margin within a kick.
She loves a goal celebration, Prasparkas. But particularly this kick from Vesio here, pinpointed, knew where she was going. Prasparkas knew where she had to be. And fantastic to see the little youngster get up and about early with the chest pump.
The left knee restrapped at the moment. I'll keep my eye on it.
Prasparkas wins that clearance, gets it to Plain. Vesio worked her opponent under the footy nicely. Has a couple of free Blues inside 50, but Adelaide had zoned off well, protected the space. The kick will go to Taylor Harris. It's a good kick. It's a beautiful kick, in fact. And Taylor Harris, who we just spoke on, has missed 2, should back herself in. Doesn't want to go back for the set shot, so she kicks it off one step and thinks that's the way to do it. Think less, just kick it through. Well, I was a bit nervous there, Alex, because you'd like to see her go back and take the set shot, but maybe she thought, if I don't have time to think about it and just kick on instinct, it might work, and it did that time.
I think so, particularly with the wind down that end. She probably didn't back herself to kick it as accurately as she'd liked, but just Vesio there hitting up the right option again at the top of their forward 50, waiting for that option 1 or 2 or 3. They are waiting for it consistently to make sure they give their key forwards every opportunity of executing and marking.
I'm the midfielder. I'll kick it towards half forward. Vesio, Stevens at ground level. We know she wants to get on her left.
She does. Taylor Harris is at the top of the square. She's got the sit. Can she take the mark? She can. Of course she can. And Taylor Harris, who threatened in the first half, will look to kick her second goal in this third term and give the Blues the lead for the first time today. Taylor Harris from point-blank range kicks her second, and Carlton, they're in front.
It's exactly why Daniel Harford has Nick Stevens there to peel around onto that left foot and boot it into his tall forwards. It's an excellent use of Nicholas Stevens' elite foot skills to be able to deliver like that.
Well, we mentioned at half-time, Alex, that Taylor Harris had threatened. She'd had 3 shots on goal for just the 2 behinds, but has now worked herself into a sensational game. 2 goals, 2, 9 disposals, 4 marks, and looks like the best forward on the ground at the moment. The back, couldn't take the mark. Plain, falls fortuitously to Dalton. Has Vesio out the back. She's looked dangerous all game, Vesio. Can she use her experience to keep the ball in front? She can, gets boot the ball, kicks the goal. And the Blues skip out to a 9-point lead midway through this final quarter.
We said all day that she's been bubbling away and she had to do something a bit dramatic and a bit special here, Vesio, to get her first goal on the board today, and that's a fantastic finish under extreme pressure at the goal line.
Clever finish from Darcy Vesio. Used her body beautifully to keep her opponent out of the contest, and then was able just to quickly, with quick reflexes, get boot the ball.
Al Downey will take this ruck contest against Ree Watt. Got the fist, dangerous spot. Hosking, can she finish? Yes, she can. Goal apiece at Icon Park.
That was great work by Sarah Hosking. Opportunistic, found the hole, and a great finish in front of goal.
One thing about the Blues that's impressive, Abs, they're becoming more predictable of each other, aren't they, the more this group plays together?
They really are, and it's a great thing there to see Sarah finish off with a goal, but the more that they play together, the more comfortable they're getting. They
just throws herself in every contest, does the veteran, and she drills it inside 50, off the hands of Harris. Lovely crumb from Vesio. Hosking for her second. Beautiful finish from the Blues. Once again, quality football, front and centre, Crum, player predictable coming past for the overlap handball. She'd only kicked 3 goals in her 27 AFLW games before tonight. She's got 2 in 1 quarter.
She's got 2 in 1 quarter, Jason. Didn't she love it? Look at this celebration with her and Darcy Vesio. But brilliant work by Sarah. She's just reading the play beautifully and finding the ball. In the opening term here at Icon Park. Entertaining contest on Saturday Night Football. Flat punt inside 50, Downey at the back. The overlap this time was Egan. Can she finish? She can! Quality football. How good is this, Jace? It's looking to be a bit of a shootout here. Centre bounces to goals. And Grace Egan with her first goal in AFLW football, and it was a beauty. Certainly was. Richmond, if you are them, are you kicking yourself, Jace? You'd have to be, wouldn't you? She's been one of the finds of the season. And congested forward 50 for the Blues. Harris in the middle of that pack. I'll tell you what, Jace, I was about 2 seconds away from saying, where's Taylor Harris or Darcy Vesio? Because I felt like they were just going to do something special. And there you go, on song, Taylor Harris with a beautiful contested mark. It's one of her weapons, isn't it? She's so great in the air and at ground level as well. Number 1 contested mark in the competition. Taylor Harris, now can she finish and open up a buffer for the Blues? She can. Contested marks are hard to come by in AFLW, Abs, so when you've got players like Taylor Harris who can take them, they're just so valuable. Number 1 in the competition is now, but it really seems like over the last couple of weeks you've just clicked. Are you enjoying playing up a little bit higher and letting her do a bit more damage down, you know, closer to goal?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, what a goal.
Call it, Darcy.
Call that one, Darcy. I don't know who kicked that, but it was fantastic. Great snap. Yeah, playing with Tay is great.
Wonderful goal from Walker, extending the Blues lead once again. Now it's up to the Saints to respond. Egan, Dalton, back to Egan, grits her teeth, bounces the football, but Dalton stayed in support. It was really important play from Dalton. Now G, she can run and go, can look for McAvoy, who turns. Beautiful understanding from G and McAvoy, who just stopped, who was heading goal, and that's going to be 50 against Hannah Priest for running through the exclusion zone, and that will bring McAvoy to point-blank range and another goal for the Blues.
Lucy McAvoy just read that ball beautifully, didn't she? Tilly Lucas-Rod had gone thinking it was going to go over the back.
Goal to McAvoy. So Lucy McAvoy's first touch of the evening. She's been averaging 14 a game. She's on the board, and suddenly the Blues have got it out to 19 points. Great support run there from Dalton was critical, and then great understanding between G and McAvoy.
They've got so many elite runners in this Carlton outfit. Lucy McAvoy read it beautifully, and then the 50 was given away just there. And McAvoy walked it to the line and put it through. Have a look at this celebration, though.
So the Blues were the first 4 inside 50s of the term, and that equates to a couple of goals. Carlton's ball use in the back half's been a feature. Harrington now plays on, gains 10 metres, thumps it long towards half forward. Harris in the middle of this, and that vice-like grip wraps around the Sherrin once again. She's 55 from goal. She'll wind up. Here's a chance for Stevens, who's just popped up out of nowhere. Nicola Stevens streamed back into the hole and marks 20 metres out directly in front.
Well done, Nicola Stevens. Positioned herself beautifully, but have a look at this Taylor Harris mark. Potentially some hands there in the back that might not have been seen by the umpire, but credit to them. And she positioned herself beautifully.
Stevens from directly in front. Chips it through. Abs, we spoke about predictability with Darcy Vescio. Stevens provides that across half forward, which allows all the other players to just roam, play the game, knowing that Stevens is going to be in the right spot at the right time.
It really does. She's a great anchor for that forward line. So much leadership and experience. And
Moody will put it on her boot and gain some territory towards 50 in a one-on-one contest. Harris did well, slapped it down from the back, bends a kick back towards the goal square. Stevens tracking back, will it sit? She's got Brown for company, tries to turn her onto the left foot. Handball back into a dangerous spot. G collects, snaps and goals! This time it's the Blues with the quick response, and the margin back out to 24 points.
Well, take a bow, Georgia G. Nicola Stevens did brilliant just to keep it in play. And she just has the capabilities of popping up at the perfect moment and doing uncanny things. So
kicks her 5th of the season. Zanka got the tap, it went straight to Downey. Can the Blues respond through Egan? She puts it inside 50, off the hands of Pearce. Through the legs of Moody. Here's Harris, can link up with G. She's a classy finisher, bends it goalward. It's bouncing to the line. Chance here for Walker, and the Blues respond. And the ideal response, they say speed kills, Abs. It certainly does in the front half of the Blues.
It was excellent. And Taylor Harris just drawing that defender and releasing that handball at the right split second. And Georgia G.
So the D's down a player momentarily. Pearce will attack up the middle. Moody did well, got across in front of O'Day. Moody hits the ground running, scrubs a kick towards 50. It was partly smothered off her boot. Stevens on her left boot, can float it over the top, pops it up for Harris to mark, almost at ground level. Harris versus Cordner, slick hands to G. Great team football from the Blues, and they get their second.
It's Katie Loynes, but just on that inside leg. Corky's hurt, don't they? So she was assisted off the ground, and beautiful kick there by Nick Stevens, and Taylor Harris just did enough to keep that footy in front of her, and then quick hands out the back to Georgia G, who finished truly.
5th goal of the season for Georgia G. She's down in the ruck. Chance here for the Blues through McAvoy. Dalton with composure. Just stepped through the traffic, went back into it to step through it. It was really clever play, and she delivers to Press Parkes. Maddie Prespakis, so good with ball in hand, and she hits up Taylor Harris, 20 out directly in front. It's a big moment in the game as the Blues look to draw back within a kick.
This is huge, Jace. Taylor Harris just needs to really lift her side here. But what a hit up by Maddie Prespakis. Elite by hand or foot, it doesn't matter for her. She'll hit it.
So Taylor Harris has taken a bit of power off her kicks this season to get the accuracy. No problems there. The Blues are back within 3 points.
Used that wind beautifully left to right at Traeger Park, did Taylor Harris. That's exactly what her side needed to really get back into this contest.
Corner at the back. Georgia G lurking to run her down. Perfect tackle. Timed it beautifully. And the Blues can go inside 50 once again. G kicks to a dangerous spot. Walker at the front. Harris. Egan, flying shot. Will it bend back? It will! The Blues are in front.
It was a brilliant turnover by Georgia G, but excellent reward for effort for Grace Egan. She's been sent out there tonight on a bit of a defensive role on Paxman, so really nice to see her hit the scoreboard. And as Carlton just seemed to have quite a lot of time in that build-up to inside 50.
Plain went straight ahead, won the football, gets it to Prespakis. Generally a good finisher. Can she bend it inside the post? She can! And the Blues open up a buffer in the final term. So finally some return on their investment in this final term, Abs. 7 inside 50s to 1, and Maddie Prespakis with the finish.
Good.
Wasn't the required distance. Pound out towards Harris. Corner at the back. Harris, little hand in there, knocks it forward. Blues have got some numbers. Danger here for the Ds. Brazali can get it and go. Vesio lurking to the left-hand side. Brazali's had 3 bounces. Could just keep on going. Runs to 50. She's going to get run down. Has to release the kick over the head of Walker. Just lost it momentarily. Walker can go off the ground and go! Blues with the body blow. And Abs, once again, we see the danger. They push up high, the Blues, and if they can get it over the back in the middle of the ground, they are hard to stop.
Oh, on that transition, they are so dangerous. But take a bow, Lauren Brazali.